Good morning. Hi everybody. This is Srisha S. Chatra and today we will be studying about projectile motion. And the prerequisite for this is one-dimensional motion, where you should be knowing about Newton's motions of equation. And the topics covered in this lecture will be introduction to the projectile. That's what is a projectile and what are the real life examples and what are the types of projectile. Like there are three types, and we'll be analyzing the one projectile which is launched from a level ground. Now, I am sure that most of you have played the game Angry Birds. In that game, the trajectory, that is the path, this is the path, right? The trajectory followed by the bird is known as a projectile. Physically speaking, what is a projectile? Projectile is a two-dimensional motion. That is, what are the two-dimensional? One is your x and the another one is y. Usually the horizontal direction we consider it as x and the vertical part is y. So projectile motion is a two-dimensional motion of a particle. That is two-dimensional motion of a particle under the influence of gravity. Gravity will be acting in the negative y axis, that is downwards. So basically projectile is a two-dimensional motion under the influence of gravity. See, as you can look at here, this is our y and this is our x, right? So as you can see here, the only force is mg, that is gravitational pull by the earth, that is force of the gravity. So in order to analyze this projectile, we'll be splitting it into two components. This is x, this is y. So this is our projectile. So we'll be analyzing in x direction as well as y direction. Then we will combine both of them to analyze our projectile. So our projectile has two components. One is the horizontal, which we refer by x, and the another one is vertical, which we refer by y. So in horizontal direction, that is in x direction, there is no force. Force is equal to 0. Whereas in vertical direction there is a force. In y direction there is a force which is equal to mg, which is acting downwards. So in horizontal direction there will be no acceleration, whereas in vertical direction there will be an acceleration of g, which is equal to, where g is given by 9.8 meter per second square. This is the unit of acceleration. So far we know that in horizontal direction there is no force, in vertical direction there is a force, and therefore in horizontal direction there is no acceleration, whereas in vertical direction there is an acceleration of 9.8 meter per second square downwards. So moving on, what we'll do is we'll make a table. Look at this. In horizontal motion there is no force, so let's write this as 0. Whereas in vertical direction there is a force which is equal to m into g. What is m? M is the mass of that particle acting downwards, and acceleration, that is also 0 in horizontal direction, and in vertical motion that is g in downward direction. So if there is no acceleration, velocity will remain constant in horizontal direction, whereas in vertical direction it won't remain as a constant. So far so good. Now, what are the types of projectile? There are three types of projectile. One is projectiles launched from the level ground. There are three types of projectile. One is the projectile launched at an angle from the level ground. That is, this is my level ground, x, y. So projectiles launched at an angle from the level ground. And the second type of projectile is projectiles launched horizontally. That is, let's assume this is our y, this is our x. So projectiles launched horizontally, that is u. So the trajectory will be something like this. And the third type of projectiles are projectiles launched on an inclined plane. When I say inclined plane, that is, the plane is making an angle alpha with the level ground, and we are projecting a projectile on that inclined plane with an angle theta. So these are the three types of projectile. That is, 1, projectiles launched at an angle from level ground. 2, projectiles launched horizontally. 3, projectiles launched on an inclined plane. Now we will be analyzing the projectiles launched from the level ground. That is, projectiles launched from the level ground. That is the first type of projectile. So let's make a diagram first. This is our x, this is our y, this is our projectile. Let's mark it with some other colors. So the velocity is u and the angle is theta. And if I take this as my reference, this will be 0, 0. And let's assume the maximum horizontal distance is denoted by r, that is range. So this is my range from here up to here. This is my r, this is the range. And let's mark the maximum height by hm. So as you can see, this is our projectile launched from the level ground at an angle theta with the speed u, and the maximum horizontal distance covered by it is r, that is range, and the maximum vertical distance covered by it is h. So in order to analyze this projectile, we'll be analyzing the motion in x direction and y direction separately and combine them to get the final results. So for that, we should be knowing 1D motions equations. Those are Newton's equations of motion. Let's note down. The first one is v, that is final velocity, is equal to initial velocity plus acceleration into time taken. This is the first equation of motion. Second, the displacement of the particle is given by initial velocity into time plus half into acceleration into square of the time taken. And the third equation is final velocity square is equal to initial velocity square plus 2 into acceleration into s. So these are the three equations we'll be using, where v is the final velocity, u is the initial velocity, a is the acceleration, t is the time taken, and s is the displacement. So first we have to find out in x direction what is my velocity, in y direction what is my velocity, and in x direction what is my displacement, and in y direction what is my displacement, and similarly acceleration in x and acceleration in y. So for that, let's look at the velocity vector carefully. This is my x, this is my y, and this is my initial velocity theta. So we know that u in x is given by u cos theta, and u in y is given by u sin theta, and we know that g acts only downwards. If we are considering positive notation for the upwards, so g will be negative. Therefore ax is 0 as there is no force in horizontal direction. Ay is equal to minus g, negative because it's acting downwards. And total displacement in x direction is, as we saw, it was r, because it was moving from 0 to r, whereas in xy it is 0. In order to clear that, look at this. In x direction, this is the displacement, which is equal to r, from 0 to r, whereas in y direction the displacement is 0 because it is starting from 0 and ending at 0. So sy is 0. And let's assume the time of flight, the time taken by the to cover the range, or the time taken by the projectile motion, is given by t. So these are the notations. Now, so we will be using the second equation, which is s is equal to ut plus half at square. In x direction it will be sx is equal to uxt plus half ax t square. We know sx is r and ux is u cos theta, and t is time of flight, and ax is 0, so this term will be 0. So what we get is r is equal to u cos theta into t. Let's make it as equation 1. Now similarly, writing in sy, that is sy is equal to uyt plus half ay t square. You know sy is 0, uyt is u sin theta and time taken. Now minus half ay is minus t, that's why this minus g t square. From this we will get t as 2u sin theta by g. Look at this. What is this? What is t? T is time of flight. So the time of flight for a projectile is given by 2u sin theta by g. Let's mark it as equation number 2. Now substituting t in the equation number 1, we will get r as u cos theta into t, which is 2u sin theta by g. Replace this, will be u square 2 sin theta cos theta by g. So u square by g into 2 sin theta into cos theta. 2 sin theta into cos theta is known as sin 2 theta. This can also be written as sin 2 theta. So this will be u square sin 2 theta by g. Therefore range is given by u square sin 2 theta by g. Let's box this also. So the range of a projectile, that is the maximum horizontal distance covered by a projectile, is given by u square sin 2 theta by g. This is my equation 3. Now we know for attaining maximum height, that was, this is my x, this is my y, this was the projectile, this was the maximum height. So for attaining maximum height, it takes t by 2 time. That is, if the total time of flight is t, for attaining this much, it will take t by 2 time. That is, it will take t by 2 time to reach maximum height. So again, using the equation, s is equal to ut plus half at square, where s is equal to maximum height, u is equal to u sin theta, t is equal to 2u sin theta by g by 2. So it will be u sin theta by g minus half g t square is t by 2 whole square, that is u square sin square theta by g square. So now this g, this square will get cancelled. So basically what we will be getting? We will be getting u square sin square theta by g minus u square sin square theta by 2g, which is equal to, let's change the color, which is equal to u square sin square theta by 2g. That is my maximum height. This is my third equation. So in order to summarize, what are the things we have derived today? One is t is equal to 2u sin theta by g, and the range is given by u square sin 2 theta by g. And the third one, maximum height is given by u square sin square theta by 2g. So this is all about the projectile motion launched horizontally from the level ground. We will be analyzing the other two projectiles in our next video. Thank you.